Oh, nothing to see here. Just taking the 160 for a little stroll through the country club. So got about a 3/4 of a mile track to a pond way up there. So yeah, got to track it down the cart path, across the fairways, and up there John has already brought the off-road truck and the 250 long reach. We have a pond to dig out, like I said, way up there. So I'm gonna get the machine down here and then drive around, and got some trees to take down, and I'll show you what else has to be done. Well, there is our next project. So this is another pond at a golf course. The longtime viewers will recognize the last time we dug this one out was with that Lee Bear long reach we had rented, and all the mud was piled up right there where the off-road truck is. So as you can tell, it has silted in again and is only about, I don't know, 10 or 12 inches deep. So we are going to destroy all this and dig it out. They want to get rid of this rock wall. It is collapsing and falling in, so everything from the pipe this way is going to get removed. And as you can tell, there is a large amount of leaves and sediment out there, so all that will be coming out. Luckily there is a valve on this to drain it down, and we are going to work on getting this dug out. There is a sewer line that crosses the center of the pond right there, so we've got to work on each side of that not to hit and disturb that. So let me walk over here and show you that. It goes, they did put a string up across it to locate where that was. So we'll make a road. We'll just drive over here and dig all this out, but pretty much from that T-post to that manhole is where the sewer line goes across, so we just have to be very careful while digging that out not to disturb that. And then we've got about 8 or 10 trees over here to take down, and we're going to make another hill right where those 3 big pine trees are, right there with the mud. So we're going to dig a big hole and dump all the mud into it and pretty much make another contour in the landscape. So this is a pretty interesting pond. This one is well over 100 years old. It's actually an old mill pond, and when I walk over here you'll see what I'm talking about. It's actually a rock dam, and when I was about 18 I had to repair it because during the hurricane it washed out. So all this is solid granite right here, and all those are hand stacked cut rocks, which is pretty cool. And after the one of the big hurricanes, all this section right here actually washed out and was all down in there, and I had to come back over here and stack all those back in there. I think with the 210 B Volvo we had. So it's been quite a while, but I really like that. And when the valve's shut, the water pours over that end. And but it was compromised. It actually, the rocks, they came all the way over to here, but none of this dirt right here existed. As you can tell, I stair-stepped it back pretty good, but they were having problems with it leaking down where it joins that. So we actually put all this dirt in here to kind of help, you know, act as a dam, but then leave the waterfall right there. So I'm gonna get everything fired up, and we'll go ahead and take some trees down, but just wanted to give you a rundown on what we got to do here. All greased up, ready to go. So John is moving mats up there to make my road across the ditch so I can go down that side. What I'm going to focus on this morning, he's going to take the trees down. I'm going to try to get a ditch dug all the way along that side and over there, so that that will run over and around and get our mud kind of over towards this side. So that will kind of dry out a little bit and kind of get it stacked in there. So I'm going to pull down here to the edge and reach across there and try to start getting a little channel dug in there. First scoop. trying not to pull myself into the pond. I'm kind of hanging over the edge right here. Lay this right here. Try not to splatter myself too bad. Got some splatter on the windshield to get that over with. Try to scoop this out, get a nice little ditch dug in there. Little scoops. This is going to be some nasty stuff. But it seems like if you can just kind of get it where it's not running over top of it, kind of stacked up a little bit, it will dry out some. Scoop and move over, then probably go around. Get a couple more scoops out right there, make that a little bit deeper. So this pond right here is astronomically deep as far as mud. So that's kind of why we've always used a long reach in the past. Plus, you can literally reach all the way across it from the sides. So it honestly, it makes the most sense to use one of these machines on this project. Move over, take a couple scoops, and then make my way across the ditch up there. That should be slightly interesting. Not a problem, but slightly interesting. Alright, here's where I've got to cross. He's got the mats put in here. There's like a 10 or 12 inch water line right there, so I've got to use caution not to have a problem. What I'm saying is I don't need to screw up. In fact, I'm going to ease over just a little bit more to get away from that. hammerhead right there I got to be cautious of. Alright, now we're just going to use our counterweight here and go for it. There we go. Alright. Make sure I'm missing this water box right here. I am. Make sure I'm missing the bridge as I turn. I was right on the edge. There's so much you gotta focus on not to screw up. On top of tree branches. This thing sticks 50 feet up in the air. 40 feet, I don't know how far. It'll go a long ways. Alright, I've made it. Let me go down here and is that another? I need to put flags out here. Let me get out. So I'm working on getting my little diversion ditch cut through here. I just worked around that sewer line right here. I got to work over the string, kind of marking it. I don't exactly know how deep it is down in the ground. So I'm gonna work with caution. I think it's down pretty good, but just trying to get all this piled up right here where I can reach it from that side. And while I'm doing this, I'm going to go ahead and kind of grade this edge where I couldn't, there's a tree right over here I couldn't quite get around, and I don't want to break all the branches off of it. We can use the 160 for that. This is the most liquidiest stuff, so if I can kind of get that laid up here on top of the other mud, it should kind of dry out some. Maybe. It will. It will, no doubt. Just takes a little time. Just turns into a game of cast the mud. So we definitely can't get the haul truck over here, so I've got to cast everything from this side to the other side. So that's where it's going to go, over there. Trying to get the majority of this laid over, kind of right in here, that side of the string. Just make a big pile right there. That is definitely the nastiest of the mud. It's heavy too. You can feel the machine tipping as it goes. Suppose it's going to hurt too much if I over dig that. Just going to silt back in. eventually I'll have to come back over here and push the rest of that over, but for right now I'm just trying to get, like I said, a ditch dug over here so that this can drain down, and then see if I can't unclog the valve and get it to go down a little bit lower. And that should get that to stiffen up some. Once you get it where you're not digging out of the water, it's not so bad, but when you're digging it straight out of a pond like this, it gets liquidy quickly. Liquidy ain't so bad, but when you're trying to haul it and keep it contained, it's when it gets bad. Or aggravating, I should say. Alright, well, let me work on this. Once I get over here, I'll just cast it across the pond and start filling in that puddle out there in the center and pushing all that out. Then I'll tie it into my ditch. Getting my ditch cut in here now. Trying to cast that out there as far as I can to get it closer to the other side. I think I can reach all the way across. Once this is dug, I can always come back over here and turn the tracks and go right up there to the bank. This is a little bit violent. This machine, that bucket doesn't look that big, but it holds a lot. And sitting sideways on a hill like this, it does get a little tippy. It's fine when it's sitting over the, you know, you're not sitting over the side of the tracks. So you just kind of gotta float back and forth here. There is rock down here, so I'm just kind of skimming down to that. Ditch dug here, and then pulling the bank back. There's rock right there. You hear it? There we go. You got that tree down. So I can only go that deep because it's solid bedrock. Pull back down and go ahead and trim this bank out while I'm right here, like so. Deeper than that. That was the sound of granite. I guess the good thing is if I drove out there I wouldn't sink no deeper than that. But it's variable. You know, it might not be 2 feet underground right here, but it might be 10 feet over there. Might actually have to dig out a little bit farther to get it to go around that. Let's see how far that goes out there. drain down. Just gotta move a little more mud to get that put in. Very often the pond has probably backflowed in its life. Alright, well let me get this cleaned up, and once I get up there I'll set the camera up outside where you can see a little better. I got that draining through there. I put the bucket right there to try to slow it down a little bit, maybe contain some leaves. I have a feeling it's gonna probably clog the valve up, so I'm going to go down there and make sure that that is still flowing. Let's try to get a little of this to drain out of here. So I'm actually taking it and putting it out into the pond to kind of fill in the hole there. I think what I'm going to do is just cut it right straight through there. Soupy. It's pretty sandy once I get through the 12 inches of leaves. Last time we dug this pond out, we had rented that Liebherr long reach, and we had the old Army dump truck out here. Yeah, it's been a while. It has been a while. Well, this is about to dump a lot down the creek. Dig that through and then probably give it a minute and go over there and make sure it's still flowing. I had to when I was over there and dug it through, I had to go over there and I got a piece of PVC pipe, fish that up in there and get that to break with something that clogged it up some. But it's a 4-inch drain valve and it's got some pressure on it, so it's definitely draining down faster than it's filling up. But when I turn all this through there at one time, it kind of overwhelms it. And it being sand, it's not like I can just kind of trim it down a little bit. It's just going to be all or nothing within 2 minutes. Slow it down a little bit. All right, I'm gonna go down there and check, make sure that is still draining out. Got everything draining over there. It's coming out the valve down there. John's got these trees taken down and they want to chip all the branches, so I'm gonna pile those up over there. And the rest is going in the pit because golf courses are much like farmers and they like to bury everything possible. So that's the plan, and this is where the first big mud pit's going to go. So I'm going to move all these branches out of the way and go ahead and dig a pit. So I got the branches moved out of the way. Now I am going to work on building the berm around the pit here, and you can kind of see like that right there is sediment from the last dig there. The clay's kind of mixed in with it where it was covered up, but that is the dirt out of the pond from the last time we dug it out about 10 years ago or so. So it does dry out nice and does make really nice topsoil. Just takes a while. But it is funny that I said that, like literally golf courses bury. I think I've buried more stuff on golf courses than I have for farmers. What is that right there I've dug up? I've dug up a scooter. Little kid's toy. So not only do you find them in the pond, you find them in your old borrow pit. So I'm going to take this dirt and build my wall right here. And we'll just kind of cut it out as we go, enough where I can kind of come up here with the long reach and push the mud back. So I'm going to dump all this in place, then pack it in. That way we don't have a little accident. If this wall gives way, all that will run down into the lake. That would not be great. Put that up there like so, and then give it the good old packaroo. That'll kind of keep everything contained a little bit better. Well, not a little bit better, it will keep it contained. So I need to push some of this dirt that I'm sitting on down into the hole because I don't quite have enough. And if I dig back, I won't be able to reach it. So I'm going to skim this down just a little bit and throw it in the pit. And then I can scoop it up. I'll just dig this back about 50 feet or so, and that way we can dump it and the long reach will still be able to reach the end of it there. I don't want to get too far back and then we're not able to reach the other end of it to stack it up or do whatever it needs, because I can't drive through there because that, well, I could, but we're trying not to tear the entire golf course up. Just this area. Alright, well, let me pile some more dirt up here and dig some more. Alright, so the pit is dug over there, well, part of it, and we're going to go ahead and haul a few loads of mud and then transfer that back some more. Alright, loading a little mud out of the pond now. Taking it over there to the borrow pit. Well, not the borrow pit, the pit to put it in. Not really borrowing any dirt. We're just getting rid of mud. So all of this rock wall right here is coming down, so I'm not too worried about bumping it. But I'm going to leave it towards the end, because once we get the mud out, we'll just take it and rake it downhill with a 160 and kind of pat it in and use it as riprap. It's kind of failing in several spots and they just want to turn it into a nice grass slope going down to it and do away with the wall. That slope back. Must have been a drain pipe or something unclogged. There's a lot of water coming out. Got good flow. Probably a French drain or something. Couple more and that'll be a load. Some pretty sloppy stuff. Don't want it running out of the truck as he's driving. That wouldn't be too good. We're tearing up the green a little bit. That would be the fairway. Making good progress though. It is nice to be able to sit in one spot and just dip mud out for quite a while and not have to move. That was a big scoop. So it will only get worse from here. It's always the best right here at the head section because that's where all the sand deposits at. And then the rest of that's going to be pretty sloppy. Nice because you can get big scoops. Very big scoops. Probably 2 yards. So it doesn't look like it. That bucket is actually 5 feet wide, but when it's on the end of this long stick, it makes it look like a little teaspoon. But that is a, it probably holds just as much as that 160 bucket does. It just reaches 3 times as far. How many more he can dump in that hole over there. I'm starting to see it add up. This drier stuff doesn't run as good as that mud, but hopefully it's on top of those other loads of liquid stuff and it'll run back out of the way. I put a log right there to kind of dam it up. We shall see, we shall see. Just keep scooping and dumping. Gonna need more than a little bucket of sand to fill that divot in. Well, that's going pretty good. I've dug all of this out here this afternoon. We've got that down there in the pit, and I'm working on digging another little section out and getting that loaded up and hauled over there. I'm gonna see if I can't rake a little dirt into that hole right there so it's not quite so deep. To really go down, because I am going to cut this in to my little area I've been digging out. Big rock. Careful. Lay that back just a little bit so that'll quit flowing in there. That's how fast it fills up. Just like that. Well, this is a wrap for today. I've gotten all of that cut out and hauled over to the hole over there. And I just came over here and transferred this section out right here. I can reach everything else from the other side, but I needed to get this laid over into a pit that I dug right there, and I'll dip that out in the morning and probably come back over here and transfer it one more time, and won't have to drive the machine back over here again. So be back tomorrow to probably get all of that right there out.